Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating story of one of the most iconic coins in American history, the Washington quarter dollar, a coin that not only carries the image of the nation's first president but also a legacy that spans more than 9 decades. From its introduction in 1932 to the modern designs of today, this coin has seen countless variations, rare mint errors, and valuable additions that have captured the hearts of collectors worldwide. So, let's uncover the complete history, value, and hidden details behind this legendary coin that continues to shine in the world of numismatics. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, during a period of economic hardship known as the Great Depression, but its purpose was far from ordinary. It was created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Before this coin came to life, the U.S. Treasury was already planning to issue a commemorative half-dollar in Washington's honor, but later the Commission of Fine Arts in Congress decided that the honor should go to the quarter instead, permanently replacing the standing Liberty quarter that had been in circulation since 1916. The design of the Washington quarter was the result of a public competition organized by the U.S. Treasury Department, which invited artists across the nation to submit designs featuring George Washington. The winning design came from sculptor John Flanagan, whose portrait of Washington was based on Jean-Antoine Houdon's famous 1786 bust of the president. The obverse of the coin features Washington's left-facing profile, the word Liberty inscribed above, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the date below his neck. On the reverse, an impressive bald eagle is perched with wings spread, clutching a bundle of arrows above 2 olive branches, a strong representation of America's strength and peace. The initial composition of the coin was 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 6.25 grams with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a reeded edge, giving it a distinctive feel and look that silver coins of that era were famous for. When the first Washington quarters were struck in 1932, they were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, No Mintmark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. While the Philadelphia mintage was relatively high, the Denver and San Francisco issues were produced in smaller quantities, making them extremely desirable to collectors today. The 1932 D and 1932 S are considered the key dates in the entire series, with low mintages of only 436,800 and 408,000 pieces respectively, both of which can fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on their condition. These 2 coins are so iconic that even circulated examples can easily bring premium prices, and uncirculated or mint state specimens often sell for several $1,000s at auctions. Interestingly, the Washington quarter wasn't initially intended to continue beyond 1932. It was meant to be a 1-year commemorative issue, but due to its popularity and simple, elegant design, it became a permanent fixture in U.S. coinage starting in 1934. The years from 1932 to 1964 mark what collectors call the Silver Washington Quarters era. Every coin struck during this time was made of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving them a bright luster and intrinsic bullion value. However, in 1965, the U.S. Mint made a significant change in response to rising silver prices and the national coin shortage, switching to a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. These modern clad quarters weigh 5.67 grams instead of 6.25, but they maintained the same diameter of 24.3 millimeters. This transition marks one of the most important points in the series, as 1964 was the last year of the silver Washington quarter for general circulation. Interestingly, a few 1965 quarters are believed to have been accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets. These transitional era coins are among the rarest in U.S. coinage, with examples selling for over $7,000 depending on grade. Throughout the years, the Washington quarter saw minor design adjustments. In 1965, the mint mark was temporarily removed from all coins until 1968, when it reappeared on the obverse side below Washington's neck, marking a new era in mint identification. Then, in 1975 and 1976, the Washington quarter was temporarily replaced with the special bicentennial quarter, commemorating the 200th anniversary of American independence. Designed by Jack L. Ahr, the reverse of this coin features a colonial drummer and a torch encircled by 13 stars, representing the original colonies, while the obverse retained Washington's portrait but included the dual date 1776 to 1976. These coins were struck in both copper-nickel clad and a special 40% silver composition for collectors, and even though billions were produced, pristine uncirculated and proof silver bicentennial quarters remain highly sought after, often selling for $10 to $20 for mint sets and much more for high-graded examples. As we move forward, the Washington quarter continued to evolve, reflecting America's creativity and regional pride. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs in U.S. history, lasting from 1999 to 2008. Each year, 5 different states were honored with unique reverse designs, featuring iconic landmarks, historical figures, and symbols from each state. These quarters revived public interest in coin collecting, as millions of Americans began searching through pocket change to complete their 50-state collections. Some notable examples include the 2004 Wisconsin quarter with the famous extra leaf error, an accidental die flaw that added a high or low leaf to the corn husk, turning an ordinary coin into a collector's treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Similarly, the 2005 Kansas quarter became famous for the "In God We Rust" error, caused by grease-filled dies that obscured the letter T in trust. Following the success of the state quarters, the U.S. Mint introduced the D.C. and U.S. Territories quarters in 2009, celebrating Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands. Then came the America the Beautiful Quarters program, 2010 to 2021, which highlighted national parks and historic sites across all states and territories. Each coin in this series features stunning detail and artistry, showcasing America's natural beauty and history. For instance, the 2019 Lowell National Historical Park Quarter from Massachusetts honors the mill girls of the Industrial Revolution, while the 2020 Tallgrass Prairie Quarter from Kansas depicts a butterfly gliding through native grasses. As we continue the fascinating journey of the Washington quarter dollar, this part will take you deeper into the hidden world of minting errors, valuable varieties, rare proof strikes, and unique collector editions that have turned this ordinary piece of change into a true treasure. What makes the Washington quarter so interesting to collectors is not just its design or long history, but the countless little surprises that appeared over the decades, mistakes, variations, and limited strikes that slipped past mint inspectors and made their way into circulation. One of the most famous examples is the 1934 light motto and heavy motto varieties, easily identified by the strength of the lettering in the phrase, "In God We Trust." The light motto variety has thinner, shallower letters due to a worn die, while the heavy motto appears bold and clear. Though subtle, this difference makes the heavy motto variety significantly more desirable to collectors, especially in mint state condition. Similarly, the 1943 double die obverse shows clear doubling on the word Liberty and Washington's eye area, a dramatic and highly collectible error that can reach hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grade. Moving into the post-war years, one of the most talked about errors appeared in 1950, known as the D over S Mintmark error, where a Denver Mintmark was accidentally punched over a San Francisco one. These hybrid Mintmark varieties are extremely rare because they only occurred during die reuse or retooling between mints, a process that was later eliminated as the U.S. Mint standardized production. By the 1960s, collectors began noticing another fascinating phenomenon: transitional errors, coins struck on planchets from the previous metal composition during a changeover year. 4 Washington quarters. This happened famously in 1965, when a few leftover silver planchets from 1964 were mistakenly used after the switch to copper-nickel clad began. These 1965 silver quarters are incredibly rare, with only a handful known to exist, and their values can reach over $10,000, making them one of the most desirable transitional errors in U.S. coin history. Another standout is the 1970 S-proof quarter struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter planchet, a mind-blowing minting blunder that somehow paired an old foreign silver blank with a modern U.S.-proof die. This unique specimen sold for more than $35,000, and it remains one of the most legendary mint errors ever found. Likewise, the 1976 bicentennial quarters produced in 40% silver for collector sets have a few ultra-rare examples with no S mintmark, known as the no S proofs. Only a small number were struck before mintmark dies were added, and these are so scarce that even experienced numismatists may go their entire careers without seeing one in person. When they appear at auction, these no S proof bicentennial quarters can easily command over $50,000 depending on grade and strike quality. In the 1980s, as minting technology advanced, new kinds of collectible errors appeared, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and broad strikes, each offering a glimpse into the fascinating mechanics of coin production. Among the most popular is the 1983 double die reverse, where doubling appears clearly on the phrase E pluribus unum. This variety became well known after the U.S. Mint's quality control issues were exposed in the early 80s. Another highly collectible piece is the 1982 P quarter with no mintmark, which was actually struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a brief period when the mint mark was accidentally omitted. Because this was the first year the Philadelphia Mint began adding a P mint mark to quarters, the missing mark created a rare and instantly sought-after variety. In high mint state grades, this 1982 No P Washington quarter can reach up to $1,000 or more, depending on demand and luster. The 1990s and early 2000s introduced a whole new wave of exciting varieties and errors, largely thanks to the sheer scale of production during the 50-state quarters program. Billions of coins were minted across multiple facilities, and with that came plenty of opportunities for misstrikes. The most famous of these is the 2004 Wisconsin quarter extra leaf error, where a small die gouge near the corn's left husk created the appearance of an extra leaf, either high or low. These varieties quickly gained fame among collectors, with early discoveries selling for thousands of dollars. Today, depending on condition, the Wisconsin extra leaf quarters still sell for anywhere from $100 to over $1,500. Another popular variety is the 2005 Kansas In God We Rust error, caused by a grease-filled die that obscured the T in trust, leading to countless people searching their pocket change in hopes of finding one. These error coins can bring $50 to $100 in nice condition and remain a fun collector favorite. Beyond error coins, proof issues and special strikes also add enormous value to the Washington Quarter series. Proof coins, primarily minted in San Francisco, are known for their sharp details, mirror-like fields, and frosted designs. Collectors especially prize cameo and deep cameo proofs, where the contrast between the frosted devices and reflective background is strong and visually stunning. Early proof quarters from 1936 to 1942, struck in 90% silver, are extremely rare today, as mintages were typically under 20,000 per year. After World War II, proof production resumed in 1950, and these coins have become staples for serious Washington quarter sets. The 1950 to 1964 proof quarters, still made of silver, are particularly sought after in high-grade deep cameo condition, with prices often exceeding $1,000 per coin. When the America the Beautiful series began in 2010, collectors once again saw innovation in quarter design, with huge 5-ounce silver bullion versions known as America the Beautiful Silver Quarters. These coins, though technically bullion, bear the same designs as the regular circulating quarters but are made of .999 fine silver and measure a massive 3 inches in diameter. Their beauty, size, and limited mintage make them highly collectible, often selling for several $100s depending on the issue and silver spot price. Even the regular 25-cent clad versions from this series are notable, with designs like the 2019 Lowell, 2020 Ware Farm, and 2021 Tuskegee Airman, each carrying historical significance and modern artistry. The Washington Quarter's enduring popularity comes from its perfect mix of accessibility and rarity. It's a coin anyone can find in change, yet within it lie treasures worth thousands. From silver classics to clad moderns, from transitional errors to unique proofs, the Washington Quarter stands as a symbol of American strength, artistry, and legacy. Every single one tells a story, of the time it was struck, the hands it passed through, and the nation it represents. Whether you're holding a common 1999 Georgia quarter or a rare 1932 D in pristine condition, you're holding a piece of history that connects generations of collectors and coin lovers across the world. And that's what makes the Washington Quarter dollar not just a coin, but an icon that will continue to captivate, inspire, and surprise us for decades to come. Thanks for watching.